Hey there, fantastic MJ traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the absolute best MJ retail community. Today is Saturday. It is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great weekend. In this video, we're going to do another edition of rapid fire news updates for the period April 27th to May 3rd. Again, if you're not familiar with these videos, essentially we go over a top level overview. It's not to go into deep dive details. We go over all of the pertinent information that transpired over the last week or so, and you can look into it more in your own time, just in case you missed it, right? And try to keep them around sweet spot 10 to 15 minutes. It's getting harder and harder because there's so much news. I cherry pick all of the most important ones that I think are the most pertinent, but wow, it's getting harder and harder. There's just so much news, bullish news after bullish news. Obviously, there's some bearish news as well, but it's mostly just FUD and the Wall Street banks and the crooks on Wall Street trying to always shaft retail, right? There's so much news and bullish news to be excited about in this industry. There's never been a better time to be an MJ investor. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or any of my opinions. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Also, if you haven't seen my interview with Normal, Morgan Fox, political director, I highly encourage you to check that out. Moving right along, though, the first piece of information that we want to go over today. I have so many tabs open right now. It's almost impossible to find my spot, but see if I can get through this today. Like I said, there's so much news. Just in a run of a week, it's insane how much is coming through for the MJ industry. And just imagine once we actually get reform, this is going to be a big market. Obviously not as big as crypto. That's literally all of the world's money, but we're talking trillions of dollars here. It's already a multi-billion-dollar market, but it's going to be trillions of dollars. Nova MJ Inc. announces timing of first quarter 2024 earnings. So that'll be after market close Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. Be keeping an eye on that. Also, Decibel announces year-end and fourth quarter results. If you haven't seen those, you can check them out. Cannara Biotech also reported Q2 2024 financial results. So they did have a negative EPS. Stock was down a little bit in a result to that, but revenue was up 51% from the prior year. Also, Acreage reported fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results. And then if we get rescheduling enacted to Schedule 3, obviously these financial reports aren't really going to matter a whole lot because 280 is going to go away, and that's going to add hundreds of millions of dollars to these companies' bottom lines. So very bullish outlook if we actually get Schedule 3 enacted, which I think is probably over 90% possibility at this point. But we're not going to be, it's not going to be without its FUD and opposition, right? But that's just a way for them to continue to manipulate the market. But as we know, it's pretty much a done deal. Don't let anybody else tell you any different. You heard it here first. It's all noise. It's either getting rescheduled to Schedule 3 or descheduled. I can guarantee you of that. MedMen receiver sets date to meet with creditors after MJ MSO's bankruptcy filing. So not great. We never want to see any bankruptcies in any industry. It's not good for any industry. Unfortunate for, all the MedMen, founders and everybody behind the curtain, so to speak, and then their staff, anybody who lost their job. Heart goes out to those that were affected. And then obviously anybody that was invested in this, right? I lost about $500. Not the end of the world, but we'll see what happens with Tilray's convertible debt that they own in MedMen. This could pave the way for them to potentially acquire those assets. And I just did a video on SNDL as well, saying that they are expanding their presence in the U.S. with exchangeable shares. And I mentioned now that Cannabis has done it, watch, paves the way for other LPs to do it as well. So watch for Tilray USA to potentially come to fruition. Schwaz sets first quarter 2024 conference call for May 15th, 2024, 5 p.m. So if you're interested in those, you can check that out. Also, Aurora improves offerings in Australia with new range of premium dried flower products as they continue to expand. Cresco Labs to report first quarter 2024 financial results on May 15th, 2024. So we'll be keeping an eye out for those as earnings season continues to roll on. DEA signs off, and this is the biggest news, obviously, for the sector, probably, arguably, to date, even bigger than Canadian legalization at the federal level. The Drug Enforcement Agency signs off on MJ rescheduling, report says, but process not done yet. And if you've been following this channel for a while now, you know that this was pretty much to be expected. I've been saying for at least a year now that this was the most likely scenario, that they approve Schedule 3, and then the most likely time frame was in April. And I even did a video on April 29th saying, watch them come out tomorrow And the last day of April, similar to what they did with HHS recommendation, the last day of August when no one expected during the August recess. But if you're subscribed to this channel, you are a part of the best MJ community because we see through the BS that these Wall Street crooks like to spew on all of us. And the more you can put yourself in the eyes of a Wall Street crook, the better you'll do. Unfortunately, as sad as it sounds, it's so true. Also, DeClown will be getting involved in effort to defeat MJ Messer on Florida ballot. So essentially, this guy hates the Florida, he hates Floridians, he hates American people, and he hates America because he's not giving the people what he wants. He was put in power by the people. He works for the people. His salary is for the people. And you're going against what the people want? Get the hell out of here. You're an absolute clown that deserves to never be in power ever again. If you work for the people, you do what the people want. That is the end of the story. Get out of here, Ron DeClown. High Tide announces appointment of new chief financial officer. So this was something we reported on previously, but they announced that on May 1st, Mayank Mahajan, that's a difficult name to pronounce, has joined the company in the new role of CEO. So if you want to learn more about that, you can check that out on your own time. Also, Intercure announced fiscal year 2023 financial results. In case you missed it, you can dive into those details as well. And then Schumer and other Democratic senators file a bill to federally legalize MJ. As I mentioned, we can expect one of three things in the financial markets: up, down, sideways. And then you have to always be ready for a surprise. And what the market is not factoring in right now is uplisting the NASDAQ, which we've got some monumental news coming here on that in just a moment, right on cue, right? like clockwork. As I mentioned, the first thing we're going to see is Schedule 3 enactment, then more than likely safe banking, uplisting the NASDAQ, then Schedule 3 enactment, the announcement, uplisting, banking, enactment of Schedule 3, and then full-blown descheduling and legalization effectively. And then right on cue, we'll see a little bit later on in the video that the NASDAQ is opening up to U.S. MJ listings, right? It's not even like prohibited. It's just the NASDAQ doesn't want to allow it, right? And then obviously the Securities and Exchange Commission might have something to do with it, but it's just so asinine. At the end of the day, we need to be ready for Schedule 3 to be bypassed. It could take, a lot of people are saying it could happen before the elections, the actual enactment. I think the most likely scenario still to this point, again, each day that goes by, we get more and more data. But as of the data that we have right now, I would say that it's a 80 to 90% probability that we're going to end up with Schedule 3 enactment at some point, by the end of 2024 or early 2025. I think there's a small chance, maybe 20% chance that we get bypassing of Schedule 3 altogether and they deschedule it, because there's a lot of chatter right now on how rescheduling to Schedule 3 is not the right solution and it's not enough. And as we know, to put us on this, majority of Americans, I think it's 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5, I think it is. 3 out of 5 Americans think that MJ is safer than alcohol and tobacco. Why the hell are we not on the same level playing field as that? Tobacco is poison. There's no medicinal benefit. It literally should be on Schedule 1. And alcohol, there might be some benefit, but both of those deserve to be on Schedule 1 more than MJ. So in my opinion, we have to be ready for that surprise. Also, Schumer suggests that MJ banking could still be attached to aviation bill as GOP House and Senate leaders reaffirm opposition. So again, not to be met with opposition. There's going to be lawsuits with Schedule 3. It's going to be the FUD campaign galore. But as we know, it's just noise. It's going to happen. The people have spoken. FDA, you got HHS, FDA, all screaming from the rooftop saying there's no reason to delay. There's no reason, you wouldn't have Amazon, Apple, Uber all backing reform. It's going to happen. Believe me, there's enough firepower behind this to get it done. And any FUD campaign that you see, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, just regard it. It's so stupid. They're just trying to prey on the weak, on the retail investors who don't have that much experience in the market. But if you do your tens of thousands of hours worth of research, right, or just coverage of this space, you would know that it's all just BS, right? And it's just to keep you in limbo and in fear and to not know what's going to happen. And that's how they do it. They crash the prices. They create a brutal 3-4 year bear market and get you to lose hope, right? The stock market is a mechanism for transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. So which one are you? Also, Tilray Brands launches XMG Zero, a new better for you MJ beverage. If you haven't seen this, check out the line of beverages coming up. Cream soda zero, orange soda zero, black cherry zero. You got cherry cola coming soon, and elevated nostalgic beverage that's classic as it sounds. You got XMG Plus Banana Brain Freeze, XMG Plus Iced Rocket Berry. Oh man, I can't wait to try these. But obviously going to be a huge segment, probably top 3 segment and category in the MJ industry, like worldwide, right? You think about it, you go to a Dodgers game, you go to a Denver Broncos game, you're not going to be able to buy a joint you go to buy your popcorn and your sugar and your food poison, your alcohol poison. You're going to buy an MJ infused beverage, your medicine. You're not going to buy a pack of joints, right? It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to light up right there, maybe in like a designated smoking area, but MJ beverages, wow, massive. Going to be absolutely massive. Also, MJ Moment reports that MJ legalization opponents raised money for a potential lawsuit against federal rescheduling move. And this came out a couple of days after the announcement from DEA. And again, just like clockwork, we always expect it. They don't make it easy, and they come out just to instill fear. But we know it doesn't matter. It's going to get brought through to the finish line. Mary Jones brings its award-winning iconic taste to HD9 with new gummies. They already mentioned this. They partnered with Tilray Brands. They're bringing their Mary Jones soda Jones Soda, bringing their Mary Jones soda to Canada, starting with Ontario, more than likely BC, and then the rest, like probably Alberta after that, the rest of Canada. And they mentioned they were looking to get into other categories. So again, if you've been following this channel, you'd already be in the know, and this shouldn't be new information to you, but yeah, very bullish long term. Also, High Tide opens Canna Cabana in Owen Sound, Ontario, as they continue to ramp up their store count there after 75 stores per retailer increased to 150, so doubling the store count, and still lots of work to do there in Canada's largest province in the country. And then obviously there's some news with regards to Germany that they're going to be looking to implement. I'm not sure if I brought up the article here. I might have forgot to do that, but maybe I did. But if I didn't, check out the video I just posted that they're looking to speed up the implementation of Pillar 2, which would bring commercial sales and adult use sales and for profit. So that is huge. We could see some movement on that here in the next couple of months. So it's looking like they're trying to fast track that. And that's one thing that happens when you're in a brutal bear market, when everybody thinks it's going to take years and years and years. They start expediting everything, right? Like clockwork today. Late yesterday, they talked about uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ potentially. And Curaleaf, we got some information on that in a moment. So just when everybody's down in the dumps is when things start to kick into high gear and hyperdrive, right? And it's by design. That's what they do. They manipulate it. They're literally Wall Street crooks, right? These people should be put behind bars. Like the NASDAQ, the NYSE, the SEC, all of these politicians are all working in cahoots. The mainstream media, they're all in it together, and it's to shaft you and I, and that's why we are the best MJ community, and I will be making videos until the last very breath that I ever have on this earth, because I am making it my life mission to spread the MJ gospel and to intercept as much of this evil and this manipulation and straight up, I'll say it, bullshit from these companies and exchanges and agencies that that want to protect, like they're supposed to protect us, and their whole mission is to shaft us. The SEC's mission is to literally create fair and orderly markets. They do not do that. They're looking to increase the accredited investor to 10 million from 1 million, as if it's not already lopsided enough. They don't want you or I to succeed. And just like the WEF said, the World Economic Forum, you will own nothing and be happy. That is a very scary topic and comment, but just goes to show you what these lizard people are up to. Hawthorne sales plunge again. So Scott's Miracle Grow division, MJ division. And then there was also RIV Capital reported financial results for the fiscal quarter and 9-month transition period ended December 31st, 2023. And then another article to go along with that saying that potential RIV Capital merger with Scott's Miracle Grow renewed optimism. So we could potentially see some sort of partnership and merger there. So we'll continue to keep an eye out for that as well. Also, New Jersey set a new MJ sales record last quarter, with regulators touting historical highs on 420 weekend. So it just shows you how passionate people are about this industry, right? You cannot keep us down. You knock us down, we'll get back up again. Canopy Growth announces financing to further strengthen balance sheet, including approximately US $50 million of new gross proceeds. So again, dilution after a big stock move. I've mentioned this on my videos before as well, that after a big move, we need to expect dilution, and this won't be the end of it until they start becoming profitable, which could be another year or two for Canopy. But obviously, with the new exchangeable shares and Acreage, Jetty, and Wana, then 280 goes away. Those companies are going to be hitting profitability metrics galore. So at the end of the day, Canopy is one of those companies that offers a tremendous risk reward opportunity. And if anybody can pull it off, it would be Canopy. Full disclosure, I do own them as well. Also, former DEA head says that MJ rescheduling reflects the reality of the public support for reform. So tell this to Ron DeClown, right? Tell this to people who are anti-MJ, who are basically anti-America and anti-people. These people, anybody who does not support MJ, just in layman's terms, they hate you. They hate you. If you support MJ, they hate you. They don't like you. They don't like the American people. They don't like America because people have spoken. Like anybody with half a brain knows that MJ should be even safer than alcohol and tobacco. And these imbeciles are trying to protect the incumbents. They're trying to protect Big Pharma, all the opioids, right? I used to work for a pharmaceutical company and they were fined billions of dollars for the opioid crisis and their involvement. And guess what they did after the last 2 years of me working there? All they could do is pivot to MJ and find out how could they get their paws, their just corrupt paws all over this industry. And they have to slow it down, just like they did to the internet, just like they're doing with crypto, just like they do with every other new emerging, burgeoning industry, so that they can get their paws all over it, their greedy, filthy, evil paws, and then try to, make the most money. And this is a way for us to front run those crooks, right? So again, anybody who is opposed to it, just basically think they hate America and they just don't vote for them. That's all that's to it. This isn't a political channel. I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do. And I absolutely hate politics. I'm not even in the US. I'm in Canada. So I care less. I hate them all. Like, politics is the worst. It's like literally the bane of my existence. I can't stand it because it's all so cutthroat, dog eat dog, and none of it makes any sense. They're just doing the bidding for the incumbents, the big alcohol, big pharma, big tobacco, and they're trying to slow down this industry. But guess what? The train's left the station. You cannot stop it. Our industry is the best industry and the best people. We are medicine of the future. We are the absolute hands down best ever. Like, there's no slowing us down. Florida MJ, also medical MJ patients growth is slowing, but good thing that Florida's on the ballot for 2024 for adult use and more than likely going to get approved, in my opinion, into the summer of 2025 enactment. Also, MJ at Winnipeg gas stations, ? Domo wants it, but province says no for now. This is where we're going, folks. And it's going to be interesting to see how this affects like Canna and the retailers, the Value Buds and whatnot. Once it's available in every corner store, which I think is where it's going. But at the end of the day, they're probably going to have a limited amount of products, right? They're probably only going to have Redican pre-rolls, the Reddies and things like that, right? Maybe a few beverages, but they're not going to have the full-blown arsenal and lineup of a Canna Cabana or something like that, right? So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. I was thinking of that today. But yeah, I guess I didn't include the German news, which is odd because I see if I can bring it up here real quick here into the end of this video. Yeah. Anyways, NASDAQ finally warming up to Canadian MJ companies with U.S. exposure. Could American growers be next? So I mentioned this, that SNDL Sunstream expand U.S. presence. I said after Canopy U.S. exchangeable shares and holdings company, watch for other Canadian companies to do so. And then sure enough, SNDL and Sunstream start to create an exchangeable shares structure, which they say that they're in compliance with the NASDAQ. And then Jefferies analyst Owen Bennett flags talks between Cureleaf and the largest U.S. MJ company and major exchanges. So they're talking about how this could very well come to fruition, just like clockwork. Like I said, it's so obvious what they're trying to do, right? And what they're trying to do is shaft each and every one of us and then position themselves before they allow any kind of meaningful reform, right? So this is what they do. They're so good at it. And unfortunately, it is what it is. It's unfortunate that people continue to get shafted by this and caught off guard by this. Again, most of what I do and what I consider myself good at is thinking like a corrupt market maker and an absolute piece of shit. So, hopefully there's no children in the background, but this is literally what they are. They're pieces of shit, man. They're literally scum. And the more and my video is probably going to get flagged for this, but I really don't care. At the end of the day, I'm on Rumble. I'm on Odyssey. If I ever get banned from YouTube, that's again just showing you how corrupt and how evil these corporations and these agencies and government departments are. It's just absolute laughable. But anyway, check out the video. Germany, big news. Germany looking to speed up Pillar 2 implementation. I didn't bring up that actual article, but check out that video if you want to learn more on that. But exciting times. Again, don't get too down in the dumps and swayed by this corrupt, Wall Street evil that they continue to spew. The bottom line is we're going higher from here. We're nearing a bottom. We're in a multi-year bear market that's spanning almost 4 years, and this MJ industry isn't going away. Medicine of the future, this plant medicine is the best medicine in industry. I'm just so grateful to be here and breathing air while it's all happening. And like I said, as long as I'm breathing air, I'll be making videos covering this amazing industry. And I really do appreciate and love each and every one of you supporting me along the way. We got a lot of work to do, so let's get it. All right. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. It's Rob with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. We'll see you on the next one.